Herzlich willkommen und ein fröhliches Hallo von eurem Heringway. Wir spielen Virtue's Last Reward weiter. Wir befinden uns mit Clover zusammen im AB-Raum, im Ambidex-Raum und treten gegen Quark an, der allerdings außer Gefecht gesetzt ist. Das heißt, wir wissen in jedem Fall, dass er Ally wählen wird. Und jetzt kommt es eben darauf an, was wir selber wählen. Wählen wir Ally, damit, wie ich schon beim letzten Mal gesagt habe, im Wesentlichen Friede, Freude, Eierkuchen zwischen den Charakteren herrscht. Es wird vermutlich so sein, dass niemand anderes in dieser Runde hier 9 Punkte erreichen wird. Dementsprechend könnte es für uns okay sein, Ally zu wählen. Dann haben wir 8 Punkte. Wir haben ein gutes Ausgangsszenario für die eventuell bevorstehende nächste Runde und alles könnte okay sein, wie gesagt. Tamuchi dürfte auch nicht sauer auf uns sein, bla 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 und so weiter und so fort. Oder aber wir wählen Betray, haben sichere 9 Punkte und können dementsprechend dann einfach abhauen. Ene mene mu und raus bist du. Im Wesentlichen werden wir uns ja sowieso beide Szenarien angucken. Dementsprechend will ich jetzt abhauen. Scheiß doch drauf. Bam. Vote has been recorded. Please wait.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Und bitte.
What did you choose, Sigma?
You didn't see me push the button?
No.
Huh. Well, you'll know in a moment. What you want to do after that is up to you. You can come with me if you want, or you can stay here. Your choice.
That's as good as saying you chose Betray.
Huh. I grinned and headed toward the display.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Ich komme mir nur ein bisschen wie ein Arschloch vor. Nur ein ganz kleines bisschen. So, wie sieht's aus? Was ist bei den anderen gelaufen? Okay, und alles gegen Dio. Betray, klar. Ally, okay. Betray, Ally, naja. So, ja, Luna und Fai haben Wort gehalten. Tamuchi gegenüber. Kay bzw. Alice mussten sich absichern gegenüber Dio. Jo. Und damit haben Sigma und Clover 9 Punkte.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What did you do, Clover?
Sorry, it wasn't me.
Sigma, huh?
Yeah.
Care to explain this, then?
What's there to explain? It's exactly what it looks like. I'm getting out of here.
What?
Are you going with him, Clover?
When they all turned to look at Clover, I made my move. My feet pounded across the metal floor of the warehouse as I ran for the number 9 door.
Hey, wait!
He'd have to do better than shout if he wanted to stop me. It was closer. I was almost there. I took one last running leap and slammed into the wall, the unlocking device right in front of me. With a yell of triumph, I threw the lever down. Und durch, und durch, und durch. The door began to open. A heavy metallic grinding noise filled the room.
Shit. That son of a bitch actually did it?
His voice sounded almost surprised. I turned to face him. Sorry, but it looks like this is goodbye.
Sigma,
Don't worry. I'll go to the police as soon as I get out and come back with help. I'm not going to just leave you all here to die.
Don't give me that shit. I know a liar when I see one.
Really? Maybe you should get your eyes checked.
Are you guys just gonna let him run off like this?
No way. I can't allow that. He took advantage of a sick kid. He's just a coward.
agreed.
I also agree.
That's it then. Let's get him. Ready?
Yeah. He's toast.
Just leave it to us.
Hey now, don't do anything you regret. This door only opens once, you know? If you stop me, then...
Give it up! Charge!
Shit! I spun back around to face the door. There it was, right in front of me. Freedom. I leapt for it. Or at least I tried. It happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, my cheek was being pressed against the cold steel floor of the warehouse.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Shit! Let me go! Let go of me, goddammit! I could feel something huge, heavy and metal pressed against my back. Kay had to be holding me down. I flailed and kicked, but it didn't do any good. What are you doing? You're just killing yourselves! The door only opens once! If I don't...
I know. Go, Clover.
Huh?
You're the only one of us with 9 BP. Nobody else can get out.
But
This is an order from your commanding officer. You are to escape from this facility. Once you've accomplished that, call for help.
that's...
Stop complaining and go. If that door closes, it's all over. None of us will get out of here alive. Leave!
The door had already begun to close. The space was narrowing quickly, but was still wide enough for a single person to make it through.
Fine. You didn't leave me much choice.
I couldn't see what had happened, but I heard enough to guess. Alice had shoved Clover through the door. Looking up, I could see Clover's feet just beyond the doorway.
Alice!
Go! Call for help! I'm counting on you!
Alice! No! I can't!
Yeah.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Und da ist das Game over. Ich dachte, es wird wenigstens noch was dazu gesagt. Ach Gott. Nee. Ja. Dann halt nicht. Also ich muss ja ganz ehrlich sagen, als ich das Ende das allererste Mal gesehen hatte, ich habe mich so vom Spiel verarscht gefühlt. Das ist ganz ehrlich. Da erreicht man mal die 9 BP und kann prinzipiell abhauen. Und dann lassen einen die anderen nicht aufgrund von... Ja, aufgrund der Tatsache, dass man ein Kind betrogen hat, quasi gesehen. Naja, dass man im Wesentlichen eigentlich auch die anderen betrogen hat. Naja gut, es hat jetzt im Wesentlichen nur so funktioniert, also die anderen, aus rationaler Sicht hätten die anderen mich natürlich gehen lassen müssen, wenn Clover nicht auch 9 BP gehabt hätte. So gesehen war es, natürlich, sie konnten mir jetzt quasi gesehen gefahrlos mehr oder weniger eins auswischen, weil sie ja noch quasi Clover in der Hinterhand hatten und Clover kann dann jetzt quasi gesehen gehen und die Polizei rufen und wen auch immer und dann eben versuchen, die verdammte Tür zu öffnen, damit dann eben schlussendlich doch alle gerettet werden. Aber ja, weiß nicht. Ich hätte in dem Moment halt wirklich schon gerne gesehen, endlich mal gesehen, was dahinter ist, hinter der verdammten Tür mit der Nummer 9. Aber so leicht macht es einem das Spiel dann an der Stelle leider nicht. Und ja, das ist halt irgendwie ein bisschen doof. So ein ganz kleines bisschen. Wieder nix. Na gut. Im Wesentlichen haben wir jetzt also zweimal Kay, der entkommt, zweimal Clover, die entkommt. Und jo. Wir kommen kein Stückchen weiter. Dann gehen wir halt mal wieder zurück und verhalten uns wie ein Ehrenmann. Und wählen halt Ally. Damit das Ganze richtig in Anführungszeichen verläuft. Ist schon in Ordnung. So, bla bla, Clover, bla bla, ja, Tamuchi hat mir viele Dinge erzählt, bla bla, wir müssen doch Ally wählen, Sigma, das ist ganz doll arg wichtig, bla bla und so weiter und so fort. Dann halt bitte. Vote has been recorded. Please wait.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Wir können hoch erhobenen Hauptes jetzt hier rausgehen und haben alles richtig gemacht.
What did you choose, Sigma?
You didn't see me push the button?
No?
Huh. Well, you'll know in a moment. Let's go. I gave her a light pat on the shoulder and headed toward the wall where the results would be displayed.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
So, bei den anderen dürfte ja nichts verändert haben, ne? Betray, Betray, Ally, Ally, Ally und Ally. Gut. Na, ist doch wundervoll. Perfektes Ergebnis. Quasi.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
So you chose Ally, huh?
Yeah. Quark is sick, a kid, and unable to vote. I couldn't bring myself to betray someone like that. Hust. Naja, okay.
Thank you.
No need to thank me. I only did what anyone would have. So, you guys chose Ally too, huh?
Of course. Tenmyoji had only 1 BP left, and he was guaranteed to vote Ally. So there's no way we could betray somebody in that position.
If we had, then he'd...
Yeah, you didn't have much choice. Alice, Kay, and Dio, on the other hand, seem to have had a less pleasant round.
Hey, what the hell is your problem? You're either crazy or just an asshole. Were you trying to kill me?
No, nothing like that.
Well then, what was it like? If we'd voted Ally,
You would be dead. The needles in your bracelet would have activated, killing you.
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't think there was any way in hell you guys would choose Ally, not with Alice's BP at 1. The only way you could possibly vote was betray. Picking Ally when I knew you guys would pick betray would have been suicide.
You can't die. You've got 6 BP.
Well, maybe not immediately, no. But I would have been signing my own death warrant. Heck, not just mine. Everyone except Kay's.
What?
Didn't you think it through? Your vote was always gonna be betray. Let's say I was a raving lunatic and picked Ally. What would happen to Kay's BP?
6 plus 3 would make 9.
See? Then it'd be game over. Life over. He'd open the number 9 door and blow this popsicle stand. And that'd leave us twisting in the wind, living out the rest of our miserable lives stuck in this place. You see?
Hat ja einen Punkt, wenn so argumentiert. Natürlich. Aber das macht die ganze Sache halt irgendwie. Naja, trotzdem, verhältnismäßig verfahren.
That's why I chose betray. I did it to save all our necks, including yours.
Alice gritted her teeth and scolded fiercely at Dio, apparently trying to think of a rebuttal, but before finally snorting indignantly and stalking away. Shortly thereafter, the warehouse was filled with the rumbling sound of the door sliding shut.
The ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the ambidex game will be the star round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the star keys. The ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh? Then that means...
We can play the AB game as many times as we want, right?
Hey, didn't Zero Jr. say something about this?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The parent solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, he did. Can you guys all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all our colors and groups are this time. Within moments, a series of wrists were extended for me to examine. I see. Luna and Clover are a cyan pair, and Phi and Alice are a magenta pair. The remaining 3 are all solos. Kay is red, Dio is green, and I'm blue. So, how are the groups supposed to work for the next round? I think the next doors are going to be those white ones down the floor B warehouse.
Yeah, I heard about those. Alice told me about them while we were here waiting for you and Clover. I think I've got them figured out.
Yeah, so lay it out for us. How are the groups going to shake out this time? Phi nodded and began to explain. Option A. Tamuchi and Quark, yellow pair up with me, blue, to open one door. Phi and Alice, magenta, pair up with Dio, green, to open another door. Luna and Clover, cyan, pair up with Kay, red, to open the last one.
Oh? Is there only one option?
Yes. No other combinations would be able to open the secondary doors. Admittedly, Tenmyoji and Quark aren't here for us to check, but I'm sure they're the yellow pair. If they weren't, then Sigma would be stuck without anybody he could pair up with.
Oh, God. I never thought I'd have to put up with Dio again.
Well, you just didn't think hard enough then. Sooner or later, everybody puts up with Dio. Wait.
Tja,
So, what should we do now?
das ist eine sehr gute Frage.
It looks like we have a lot of time until the primary doors open.
Yeah, about 80 minutes.
I'm worried about Quark's condition. Those pods can't cure Radical 6. He still needs help.
Well, we don't have anything to lose, so we might as well look for that medicine. Clover, right?
Yeah. What about the rest of you?
Oh, I'll help.
As will I.
Me too.
Fine. I guess I can help.
What about you, Sigma?
Of course I'll help. What kind of jerk wouldn't?
Okay. We should split up and search.
After some discussion, Dio and Kay were assigned to the pantry, Luna and Alice to the treatment center, and Clover, Phi and myself to the pressure exchange chamber.
Shall we regroup in the Floor B warehouse 10 minutes before the doors open?
We all nodded. Kay turned to Alice and Luna.
You are going to the treatment center, correct?
Yes.
Then please remember to tell Tenmyoji where we intend to meet and when.
Okay.
You must also remember to bring Quark with you. I am concerned about removing him from the pod, but it can't be helped. Without Quark's bracelet, Sigma and Tenmyoji will be unable to open the secondary door.
Right.
Good. Looks like we got all that straightened out. Let's go.
With a final nod to one another, we split up, each team heading in a different direction. Mir wäre es übrigens lieber, wenn nicht ausgerechnet Luna und Alice zusammen unterwegs wären. Weil das waren bisher immer die beiden, die auch gestorben sind. Naja. Aber Alice ging es bis hierhin immer noch verhältnismäßig gut, ne? Obwohl, also, der Zeitpunkt, wo wo irgendetwas mit ihr passiert oder irgendetwas an ihr seltsam ist, der scheint ein bisschen zu variieren. So, von den Minuten her. Es ist immer so irgendwie nach dem zweiten Ambidex-Spiel, ja, aber manchmal schon wirklich unmittelbar danach. Die anderen Male, wie jetzt zum Beispiel, scheint sie, ja, scheint bei ihr länger alles okay zu sein. Also irgendwie, So, this is a pressure exchange chamber.
No, this is the prep room. There are 2 levels. The actual pressure exchange chamber is downstairs.
How do you know that?
Alice told me. She was one of the people who investigated this room.
Did you talk to her when you were waiting for us back in the warehouse?
Yeah.
Well, let's head downstairs then.
Good idea.
Wir kennen den Raum natürlich schon, weil wir das Rätsel dieses Raums schon mal gelöst hatten. Aber nun gut. So, this is the real thing.
Seems like it.
Why do they have something like this here?
Well, this is just what Alice told me, but
Apparently, the pressure inside the facility was a lot higher than the pressure outside. That was part of a system designed to keep the rivals from getting in. It did mean, however, that we'd need to get through a decompression process in order to get outside.
remember all those suits along the wall of the prep room? Those keep you from getting infected. We won't even be able to enter the pressure exchange chamber if we don't have them on.
I see. Whoa. Then that newspaper article was right?
Unfortunately, that seems pretty likely.
So the air out there is teeming with Radical 6.
Yeah.
Something's been bothering me.
What is it?
Aren't you saying that if we put on those suits, we can go into the pressure exchange chamber and go outside, right?
Oh. No, we can't do that. The door beyond the pressure exchange chamber is locked up tight.
Damn it. Just one door between us and freedom.
Well, if you look at it that way, it's the same as the number 9 door.
Okay, yeah, but...
Whatever. We need to be focusing on finding that Clover. Quark needs it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll go look around upstairs. You two take this floor, all right?
Got it.
Okay.
wie die Nummer 9 Tür. Hat sie natürlich recht. Auf beiden Ebenen haben wir halt das, naja, man bekommt halt mit normaler menschlicher Kraft, man bekommt beide Türen halt leider nicht auf. Das ist wirklich das Problem. Das ist fast schon wirklich, also, da können wir ja verrückt werden bei dem Gedanken. We looked everywhere we could think of, but turned up nothing. Eventually, I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. Hey, what do you think the deal is with the stuff about the world being infested with some crazy virus? Infected? No. A pandemic seems like it would make the news, but I don't remember hearing anything. Wait a minute. You mentioned it, didn't you? Back when Dio was asking questions? We were in the infirmary. It was right after Quark lost it.
Have any of you guys heard anything about any sort of viral pandemic?
Well, no. But
And then Alice said,
I have heard rumors about a virus being used as a bioweapon.
so what's the rumor she was talking about? I got the feeling you and Alice were talking about the same thing. Clover, what do you know? What are you and Alice anyway? I heard you guys belong to some sort of organization, but what is it? Clover was quiet for a long time. She bit her thumbnail and looked down at the floor. Then finally she lifted her head and met my eyes.
fine. I think I can trust you. Just don't tell Alice, okay?
Alright,
Promise?
promise. Clover nodded and began to talk. I listened with rapt attention, at a complete loss for words. Here is what she said. Alice and I are agents of the SOIS, which is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. SOIS stands for Special Office of Internal Security, and we are an elite intelligence division that investigates potentially disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or citizenry. Wow. Okay, von mir aus. Our existence hasn't been made public, so there are only a few people who even know we exist. You're probably wondering how I even got involved in something like that, huh? Well, it started when I met Alice. I told you that I've played the nonary game twice before, right? Well, this was after the second time, so about a year ago. We just escaped and we were all stuffed into this SUV barreling across the desert. Ihr erinnert euch vielleicht, jetzt wird komplett Bezug drauf genommen auf das Ende von 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Wir waren in dem SUV unterwegs. Wer war alles da drin? Jumpy, Clover, Snake, Ace, der allerdings einen Knebel im Mund hatte. Und noch irgendjemand? Bin mir gerade. Seven war bestimmt noch drin. Ja, kann sein, dass ich noch irgendjemand vergessen habe. Aber egal. Wir waren alle in dem SUV und wir sind quasi June und Santa hinterher. In der Hoffnung, wir hatten kurzzeitig die Hoffnung, dass wir sie eventuell vielleicht noch einholen würden oder wie auch immer. Naja. I was driving. War echt Clover am Steuer? Ich dachte Jumpy. Na gut. And that's when I saw her. Richtig. Alice. Und damit endet das Spiel. Mit diesem Bild. Und man hat sich nur so gefragt, was zum Teufel? Wer ist das? Warum steht sie da in der Wüste? Und warum und wie und überhaupt und sowieso? She was standing next to the road with her thumb out. She was already working for the SOIS and she'd been on her way to the building we'd been trapped in as part of her investigation. But on the way there, her car had broken down. We offered to give her a ride, of course. After she got in, we started talking, and it turned out that Alice had gotten a tip that the terrorists she was after were in the building we'd been trapped in. We couldn't see how us playing the nonary game had anything to do with the terrorists. But Alice had a suggestion. Maybe the two people who trapped you in there are the terrorists. That didn't seem very likely to us, but we were chasing after them anyway, so we decided to bring Alice with us. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. As far as we know, they are still out there now, on the run. Anyway, we were taken back to SOIS headquarters and put into custody. I guess they thought there had to be some kind of connection between us being kidnapped and the terrorist group they were investigating. But they must not have found anything, because after a few days of questioning, they let us go. We all went home and returned to our lives. But things didn't go back to the way they'd been. My mom got real worried about me and my brother, since we'd gotten kidnapped twice now. Ja, da würde ich mir dann irgendwie auch Gedanken machen, aber okay. So she hired bodyguards for us. Oh, I haven't told you about my brother, have I? He's super awesome, for one. And he was in both of the last two nonary games too. So anyway, we'd been grabbed twice. But the people behind the two nonary games were totally different. That didn't matter to my mom though, so after that all these huge men in black suits followed me and my brother everywhere. It was awful. We were always being watched. People would look at us funny because we were being followed around by a bunch of creepy looking guys. I couldn't stand it. Just when I thought I'd finally be free, all that was waiting for me was another kind of prison. The only time I was really happy was when I was hanging out with my brother. So we were talking it over one day and we decided to leave. Like, run away. So we did it. After that, we lived on our own. I worked in a cafe and he composed music. He plays the harp and he started writing this kind of new agey music. It got kinda popular, so we didn't have to worry too much about surviving. Okay, na gut. Snake, der berühmte Harfenspieler. Naja. Sometimes he'd play at little venues like coffee houses and stuff, and his fans would show up and listen to him play and cry. Or some of them would meet on their own and recite stuff from the book he'd written and play his songs. I know that sounds kind of like weird and culty, but they just do that stuff on their own, okay? My brother doesn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, we did that for a while, and then one day Alice showed up. I need your help, she told us. We need people who can do what you can do. So we went to the location she gave us, and it turned out to be the headquarters of the SOIS, where they'd taken us after the second nonary game. They put us in a room with about a dozen or so other people who were all about the same age as us. A bunch of them looked familiar too. It only took a moment to realize how we knew each other. They were the kids from the first nonary game. We were all excited to see each other again, and we were hugging and shaking hands and stuff. And then Alice walked in. The whole room went quiet. She walked up to the podium and looked around the room, making eye contact with each one of us. Right now, a terrorist organization is preparing for a major attack. They plan to trigger a viral pandemic. If they succeed, they will strike a massive blow against all of humanity, not just any one country. It's possible that we as a species will die out completely. We are doing our best to prevent this, but we need your help. You are what we call espers. You have the ability to access the morphogenetic field. We need that. I'm guessing you don't know what any of that is, but basically we can do this thing that's kind of like telepathy. I mean, it isn't really telepathy, but that's probably the closest thing, okay? Espers can resonate their consciousness with another person through this thing called the morphogenetic field. The purpose of the first nonary game was to research that ability. So they kidnapped kids who had the potential to do it and threw them into the game. Alice had gathered up all the kids from that experiment. Well, I mean, it had been 9 years since it happened, so we weren't really kids anymore. Anyway, everybody she'd brought in was an esper. That included me and my brother, of course. I bet you think I'm just making all this up, huh? I don't blame you. It is pretty crazy. I mean, I was even starting to forget I could do that stuff. So when I heard Alice's story, I was like, screw that. I was trying to move on with my life, and now some shady government creeps wanted me to use some weird ability I had for them? No way. I wasn't even sure I could do it anymore. Some of the others felt differently though, and they told Alice they'd do it. It was a job after all, and most people wouldn't turn down a salary like that. Alright, I forgot to tell you, she told us how much they'd pay us if we helped. It was a lot. More wealth than you can imagine. But I was still totally against doing it. My brother told me he'd go along with whatever I decided, so I decided we were leaving. A couple days passed, and then Alice showed up at our apartment. She didn't waste time. The people behind the first nonary game might have been part of the terrorist organization Alice and the SOIS were after. Wasn't that, she asked, something that I might want to know more about? That got me curious. My brother too. But the clincher was what Seven said to us. He was one of the guys that got abducted with us for the second nonary game. She called him on her phone right then and there and handed it to us. You guys are the only people who can do this. We don't know where Jumpy is. He's gone off to travel the world looking for Akane. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Please, just do me a favor and help Alice out. Jumpy, like Seven, another participant from the second nonary game. Akane, one of the people behind the second nonary game. Seven was a Japanese policeman, which was probably how Alice got in touch with him. Anyway, they did it. My brother and I agreed to join the SOIS. For the next couple months, all we did was train. Half of the time it was general knowledge and technical skills an SOIS agent needed, and the other half was learning to strengthen our Esper abilities. Ich möchte an der Stelle dann nur noch mal kurz einwerfen, das alles findet eigentlich innerhalb eines Jahres statt. Das wurde ja irgendwann gesagt, ne? Das zweite Nonary Game endete quasi gesehen vor einem Jahr, ungefähr vor einem Jahr. Das mutet gerade ein bisschen, naja, oder? Das war doch vor einem Jahr, oder nicht? Oder doch? Oder bringe ich das jetzt durcheinander? Ging trotzdem alles relativ schnell. Aber naja, gut. Ist bestimmt möglich, trotzdem in dem zeitlichen Rahmen, aber ich finde das alles gerade sehr knapp. They'd actually known about Espers for quite a while and had a lot of techniques that helped us get better and stronger. After several months of hard work, we were finally ready for our first field missions. Mine was an infiltration. My brother stayed at the base, so I could relay information back through him. I was supposed to sneak into a research facility, posing as one of their workers, and then used the morphogenetic field to transmit what I found back to my brother. But everything went wrong. It was a trap. The whole research facility was fake, and I got captured. Alice had to come and rescue me. I'd been sending information about the inside of the facility to my brother, and Alice used that information to come and find me. As soon as she got there, she picked me up and carried me out. I was relieved and happy to be alive and free, but I also felt ashamed and miserable. While she was carrying me back out, I started to cry. She was just so cool, and I wasn't. I wanted to be just like her. So from that day onward, I did everything I could to be more like Alice. Our infiltration ended in failure, but we did manage to get something useful. In fact, we were able to figure out where their headquarters was. The directors decided that December 25th, 2028 would be the day we would strike. This time I promised myself we wouldn't screw it up. I was finally going to get some answers about something that had been with me for most of my life. But then, on December 22nd, 3 days before the raid, Alice and I were attacked by people in gas masks while we were going over our planes. Und so landeten sie dann hier. And when you woke up, you were in the warehouse.
Yeah.
All of that talking seemed to have tired Clover out. She sighed, and her long hair swayed as she moved. Hey, I've got a few questions.
What are they?
Well, first off, your powers, I guess. I'm guessing you can't use them right now?
Yeah. I'm not really sure why. I've been sending my brother messages ever since I woke up, but...
No response?
Yeah. If there was another Esper here, they could make me stronger. But that's just wishful thinking. Wait.
What?
Well, if there's someone else who's stronger than me, then they kind of absorb my powers. Maybe... No, never mind. That's probably not it.
Right, whatever. I have some other questions, so... Moving on. I think I understand what Alice was talking about now. They were trying to spread that virus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, who are they?
Well, I can't tell you that.
What? Why not? You told me all that other stuff, but this is too much?
Well, Alice would be mad at me.
I already told you I wouldn't tell her.
But...
Fine. Let me rephrase. When are they going to do it?
Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't have gone to all that trouble.
So you don't know?
No. All we know is soon.
But that could mean just about anything.
Yeah. It could be next week or next month or even next year. Or it could have happened already.
Wait. You mean they might have already released the virus?
Wouldn't that make the most sense? Like, how about this room? Or that newspaper article? And the 3 people who were put in cold sleep.
Are you saying you, me and Alice were frozen and the pandemic happened while we were on ice? Wait. No, that doesn't make sense. Nobody else has heard of Radical 6 either.
Maybe they're lying.
Really? All 6 of them?
Well, if Kay really does have memory loss, then it's only 5. Quark is out too.
So you're saying Tamuji, Dio, Phi and Luna are all lying? I guess they are a little suspicious.
Right?
And what's the motive?
For lying? How would I know?
Then what's the motive for a terrorist organization to start a pandemic?
I heard it was something about purifying the unclean?
Purifying the unclean?
Oh. Unclean. 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 Unclean.
What? What are you doing?
Shut up. Just hold on a minute. I'm this close to remembering. Unclean. Clean. Een.
She leapt up, suddenly excited.
Neostigmine.
What?
Did you forget it already? I'm talking about this stuff.
As she spoke, she pulled something out of her pocket. It was the injection gun, complete with a vial of medication. Alright, I remember that. It was in the safe in the treatment center, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have any idea what it was though, so I gave it to you.
Exactly.
Are you saying you've heard about this neostigmine stuff before?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just remembered.
You remembered?
My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of cholinesterase inhibitor. That means it's a sort of antidote for tubocurarine.
Aha. Sorry, but I still don't get it.
How easy do I have to make it? Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll start at the top, alright? The stuff I've got in here is neostigmine, which counteracts the muscle relaxant tubocurarine. Following me?
Tubocurarine is the poison in our bracelets, right?
Right. It's the second thing we get injected with if we're penalized.
First, is this over real? Which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
So you're saying this neostigmine keeps it from working?
Yes! Oh my god, how many times are you going to make me say it?
So we can just inject ourselves with this if we get penalized.
Yeah! We don't have to die. We're gonna be okay. We can only pull the trigger once though.
That means we can only use it on one person.
Yeah.
Das ist eine kleine Absicherung. Well, it's still good news. This means one of us can break the rules once. Like, let's see.
The best way to use it would be for sneaking through the number 9 door. If somebody gets 9 points, they can open it, right? With this stuff, somebody who doesn't have 9 points could still leave with them. Anyway, I'm gonna go tell Alice.
What? Hey! Clover, wait! Clover! It was too late. Clover was already on the lift and gone. Damn. I was, I think, understandably upset. With no stairs, my only choice was to wait for the lift to come back down. As soon as it was back, I jumped on and headed upstairs. Dumm. Und... Wir müssen jetzt mal eine Pause machen. Das Video wird schon wieder so verdammt lange. Es ist, ja, das ist nicht gut. Es wird lang, es wird, ja. Wollte ich eigentlich auch gar nicht mehr. Ich wollte keine 50-Minuten-Videos mehr machen. Ich wollte mich eigentlich mal dazu zwingen, wieder so ungefähr bei der halben Stunde zu landen. Und es gelingt mir einfach nicht. Aber das war jetzt auch einfach schon wieder zu viel Input. Wir haben sehr viel heute über die Ereignisse nach 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors gelernt. Wir haben ein bisschen was von den alten Charakteren gehört, was ich sehr, sehr schön finde. Und Ja, wir haben jetzt herausgefunden, was mit der Injection Gun ist. Und vieles ergibt jetzt plötzlich keinen Sinn. Wenn ich mir das jetzt mal so überlege. Aber es ist gut zu wissen, dass wir jetzt wissen, wie das Ganze funktioniert mit dieser Injection Gun. Und ja, wie eventuell können wir es auf die eine oder andere Weise jetzt nutzen, um uns oder anderen damit zu helfen, wenn es dann tatsächlich darauf ankommt. Ja, und ansonsten viel über die Organisation von Alice und Clover gelernt. Die SOIS ist natürlich schon ein bisschen harte Kost jetzt an der Stelle. Ursprünglich ging es nur um ein Spiel, wo irgendein Spinner 9 Leute ein mörderisches Spiel spielen lässt. Und jetzt auf einmal geht es, na gut, okay, wurde ja eigentlich die ganze Zeit schon so ein bisschen nebenbei am Rande thematisiert, so mit Virus und Pandemie und Halleluja. Jetzt plötzlich noch terroristische Organisationen und die ganze Welt soll irgendwie gereinigt werden und weiß der Teufel was. Und boah, das ist viel Stoff. Und das geht so in eine Richtung, die man am Anfang des Spiels oder am Anfang der Spielereihe mal so 0 hätte einschätzen können. Aber nun gut. Das Spiel geht nun mal in diese Richtung und wir sollten uns damit arrangieren, damit wir jetzt und im Folgenden irgendwie auch da weiter mitkommen. Und na gut, ja, wie ist eure Meinung dazu? Könnt ihr mir in die Kommentare schreiben. Ansonsten soll es das jetzt für den Moment erstmal wieder gewesen sein. Beim nächsten Mal setzen wir diesen Pfad hier fort. Mal gucken, was uns da noch so Interessantes über den Weg läuft. Ich sag dann jetzt erstmal wieder aber tschö mit Ö und hoffentlich bis ganz, ganz bald.